I'm almost softly, Rora. Take it easy, Cora. Put your feet in the air, I go knock on that. What's up, that when I'm meditation is safe. Go down, I take care of me. Check our friends.
Station and music, sports and entertainment. We are high power 102.7 FM, the pride of the
We try to enjoy. The finish. We try to enjoy. Sikata uru not the finish. We try to enjoy. Problem is not the finish. We try to enjoy. We dance now, do
pride of the people.
A very good afternoon to our beautiful listeners all the way from High Power 102.7 FM. You're listening to us from the city of Emorelia, Ondo State. And you know what time it is? Yes, it is Real Talks with FLOXY on the program. And of course, you're listening to it from the studios of High Power 102.7 FM. For those wondering what the program is about, it's where you bear it all out. On the program, it is 100% real. We share real stories, real conversation, and we do not keep no secret, no judgment, just truth, encouragement, and love. And of course, I am your girl, Florence Ibarema. Friends call me FLOXY. You can also call me FLOXY. And yes, on the program, you know, I will do it right here. I don't always come alone. I come with my own girl, and she is right here in the studios. Kindly introduce yourself, baby girl.
A beautiful morning to you out there. A beautiful afternoon. Beg your pardon. I guess I'm still in the morning. A beautiful afternoon to you out there in Emorelia. This is High Power 102.7 FM. And I am here in Nyolua Adekoya on Gist with FLOXY.
Yes, Real Talks with FLOXY in Nyolua Adekoya. What's up, Gwan? What is wrong with you? How you feeling? How you doing? Are you catching cold?
I'm doing good, though. The weather is cold as always chilly, and I'm always prepared.
You're always prepared. I hope our listeners too are prepared. You know what happens on the show? We come to you bearing realistic, relatable stories where I get to read out stories to you, and we, of course, from this point and from your own end, share your 2 cents. Before we wrap up the show, I will drop my 2 cents. And it will do us and our beautiful audience as well. We give their 2 cents on the show. But before we continue, we'll be going on a very short musical break. When we come back, we will dive straight into the gist of today. And please bring along with yourself your ears, because we need listening ears.
If I like to spend my money anyway, I like it low. Don't come near me, Mr. Doku, and if you don't see me, you go Doku, one that for everybody. Come on, I'm the owner of them body. Doku, one that for everybody. I'm like, most of our
If you do anyhow, yes, welcome back to the program. You're listening to us from iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is Real Talks with FLOXY, where we get to read out to you amazing real life stories, and we dissect, we break it down to the barest minimum for our audience to understand, and of course we learn a lesson or two from it. And on today's episode of the story, it's a bit emotional because it later ended on a note I would not have thought it would end. But you know, life at times is not always fair, and we keep it real on the program. So today I have a story from a lady who sent a story, not necessarily asking for what to do, because she did what she had to do eventually, but she felt, I need the world to hear my story. So she goes doors. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So she said, it was on a weekend. My husband came from work earlier than usual. He seemed worried, though he was trying to hide it. I welcomed him and asked why he was back so early. He said he wanted to rush home and so we can have the weekend together and enjoy time with our kids. Actually, I have been married for 7 years with 2 daughters, aged 3 and 4. My husband is a businessman who does not play with business nor misuse time, especially this season when his business is always slow. All through that afternoon till evening, he rushed into the bedroom to make calls, and it was getting out of hand, though he usually does it. But that particular day was very different and was intense. As a concerned wife, I asked him again and again what was the problem, but he kept maintaining his cool and said all was well. About the 5th time he went into the bedroom, like after 5 hours that very day, I snooped through his phone out of curiosity, and what I found shocked me to my bones. Guess what I saw? It was a little girl of about 23 years who has been dragging my husband with me for over 2 years. She was admitted into the hospital and in labor, where she needed urgent operation. Unfortunately for her, my husband's business had gone down for the past years, and he barely had capital to sustain himself. In fact, I loaned him 500,000 the previous week, so there was no way he could afford the hospital bills. I guess he called his friends and none were able to come through for him, and about the 11th hour, he came home and asked for my help. And I told him what he needed the money for, and he declined and said it was for business. I had to tell him I was aware of the situation and also inquired of him to take me to the hospital so I can meet with the lady. Eventually, we got to the hospital and he needed to settle the bill of 800,000 naira, which I eventually did because she had no time with her. She gave birth to 2 boys, twins, and I was happy and I congratulated them. I did not do it for my husband. I did not do it for the girl either. I did it for the innocent kids who were victims of circumstances. However, 6 months later, I divorced my husband and I do not regret it. I am glad God used me to save those innocent kids who are doing well, healthy and strong. You know, when I started the story, before I started reading, I said she isn't asking for our help or our suggestion or our opinion because she has done what she felt is right. Now, before we go into the dissecting and discussion of this particular story, I'd like us to go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll just figure out how well we felt or she did what she had to do.
Okay.
Yummy, all good.
When you look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that, you make me go away, away. Hypnotize, captivate, control it. When you go, masturbation, I'm not gonna let you go, you be my lover.
Yeah, so small B Matojo Telemi Kalo. You're back to the program and you're listening to us from iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is Real Talks with FLOXY. Before we went on that very short musical break, I read to us a story of a lady whose husband betrayed her in no small measure, because at the end of the day, 2 lives were at stake if she eventually decided to be human and want to fight from a point of bitterness. Those kids, even the lady who the husband cheated with, might be at stake. And now in Yolua, from the story I read, what do you think the woman should have done differently? Do you think if you were the one, you would give out your 800K to a cheating man who could not bear to look at you in the face to tell you that, okay, I goofed, I went out, and the lady in question is in the hospital and she needs to be operated on almost immediately. So what would you have done differently?
Oh, I think, first of all, let's say the woman is a very good woman.
Okay.
She's someone with a good heart, and she's someone that is why it is important to be financially, to have your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if she didn't have her own, that woman in the hospital might end up dying. Might have died.
But would that be
without
her fault? Would that be?
It would not. It would not be her fault, because initially you said, as you were reading the story, you said when the man entered inside, there was no intention of telling her that there was a lady.
When every other source
that was when he felt the need to inform her. So I feel now what she had done is exactly what I would have done.
Okay.
But
working out after 6 months,
it's hard, but it's and as she said, I would not do it for the man.
Okay.
And the girl he cheated with, I would do it for the babies.
Do you think it's really for the babies, or just there are people that want to part on a very good note, so much that they don't want any issues, they just want to live and leave God to judge you. So do you think it's really for the kids or for a peace of mind?
The kids included with a peace of mind. If the kids had died, it will not be on her, but it will be weighing on her conscience.
That she could have done
She
something.
could have done something. But it's a plus. It's a good thing that she actually assisted in paying the bill.
Okay.
But the thing here now is a lot of people who are praising her, thanking her. Now, I want to put it to you that if it were she that cheated, it will not be the same.
I'm sure she's not going to cheat and have the kids.
No, let's come up with the situation where she cheats with a man and she's pregnant for the man, but she's not financially stable enough to sponsor the operation, and the man is not financially stable. It will be an entirely different story.
Okay.
So the fact that she mustered up the she could drop 800,000 naira hands down.
Okay.
I feel it's a plus. My hands are clapping for the woman.
Because typically, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
Would you have let the child die?
I don't. Okay, now I'm speaking as myself now, Florence. Yeah, I don't think I know the children. Because, up until let's be realistic now. Up until the night hour.
Okay.
Yeah, he was seeing this particular lady for like 2 years straight up, right?
Yeah.
And she was pregnant from day 1 till 9th month.
Yeah.
Not even 9th month. To the hour where she needed to be operated upon.
Yes.
And he still did not have the nerve to tell me.
He could not tell her
to my face.
Yes, that's
now look at how God is wonderful. God gave them twins, 2 boys, and I have 2 girls. You understand it? And you look at this part of the world where the male children are seen as king, or so for him not to have been able to tell me means to me, Florence, that I don't need to be in that picture. So yes, kudos to her. She has a very beautiful heart. She's amazing. She's a woman. You know, she's that woman they talk about in the Bible.
Oh yeah,
some of us actually got the WhatsApp group where they're talking about that woman. So she's a very, very, very virtuous woman. So I actually commend her myself.
Yes.
Now on the part of the man, do you think he was scared of the consequences, hence the reason why he did not tell her?
I think the reason he did not tell her, fear is part of the reason, but the actual reason he didn't tell her was because nobody, it would be embarrassing. I'm sure he has tried every possible way to hide the fact that he cheated.
He had friends.
Yeah, he had to ask friends. He had to go out. God knows where he went to.
Yeah, at some point.
So at some point. So it will be so embarrassing, and upon all the effort he has made to cover up the fact that he is cheating, he had to eventually tell her.
He covered it up successfully. For 2 years, 9 months.
If she hadn't checked his phone, she wouldn't have known.
Yeah. And maybe gullibly still lending him money
and doing this, 2 children and everything. And I feel the fact that the fact that he could not sponsor that. He could not sponsor that lifestyle. Let me not say it's not a lifestyle, but he could not. He knew that he could not carry that burden, and he launched into it. Is another problem.
Not like he couldn't carry. I think at some point he had a very amazing business he was doing, but this particular time happened to be when the business was slow. So the wife needed to man up or woman up and sponsor the family. You understand? I'm sure he had calculated, okay, before the end of the time she's going to give birth, I should be boxed up, I should have the money and all of that, but it didn't happen that way. So now, would you look at it from the point that he actually is getting his karma for looking out?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Karma is biting him back.
Okay.
So I feel at that point in time, that stuff we see a lot more at that particular point. Yeah.
You see, I didn't say that.
So so it's obvious that the only explanation for what happened in favor of the woman is just karma doing its work.
Would you call that a favor because she left 800,000 naira?
I feel it's better.
And she walked out with her kids. Is that a favor?
It's not. Divorce is not really the best thing, but in some situation, it's better to take 2 steps back.
Do you think it would have been better if she had just forgiven totally and just, let's just come together as a family and me, myself, the other wife, and the kids?
I think, I put it to you that the reason he cheated was because she had 2 girls.
They were just 4 and 2, so she could still have more.
She could have more.
So might not be because of the girls.
Are you sure?
I am not there, but I want to believe that they eventually have had more babies, who says she can have a girl or a boy? So maybe because it's just in the nature of a man, in quotes, the way they always say.
That saying is wrong. It's wrong. Men are liable to cheat. They are polygamous in nature. That saying is wrong.
Okay.
So the thing is, if I would say, if you would say that, okay, fine, men are polygamous in nature, that's why it's looking outside, men are this, that's just an excuse for infidelity.
Now let's go back to the point of the side piece.
Okay.
There are times you do certain things and you're like, you're smart, you're winning, at least. Now maybe they've actually had scans that reveal that she's going to have two boys and she'll be feeling over the moon and everything. Now look at what happened or what later played out at the latter part of the pregnancy. I'm sure at that point where she had to battle her life and that of her children, she'd be telling herself, God, how did I get to this point?
How did I get to this point?
So on the part of the lady now, what would you say? What's your take on it?
I feel let's say they've been dating for 2 years and she has no idea.
She's aware.
She is.
Yes, she's aware.
Now she's aware is a different situation entirely, and that means as God caught the man, God caught her too. So nice. So it's diabolical for you to date or to date someone that you feel is already engaged, is already married, is weird. Go and look for your own husband, please. So the thing is, in that situation, I think karma actually beats both of them back.
Okay, let's leave karma and let's enjoy this very short music break. When we come back, we would be rounding up with our stories and of course giving our final take on the gist. Yes, so C go B. You're listening to iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is Real Talks with FLOXY. We've been taking you through a particular story of a man who cheated on his wife, and with the side piece, of course, and at the point where the side piece needed to have a baby, she had complications and needed an immediate cesarean section, of which he could not afford. Gracefully, out of the heart of the wife, she paid a sum of 800,000 naira and left the marriage. Now, so we've been trying to talk about what perspective on the man, on the lady, and on the side piece. So from Enioluwa, she said the lady was being very graceful, very, very, very virtuous.
Yes.
Yeah. And for the man, he what?
Come on, you.
Okay, she said Ọlọ́run ló mú. So even on the part of the side piece as well, I guess it was still God that actually dealt and has been dealing with the side piece.
Yes.
So now, on a final note, on the note where you will be rounding up,
Okay.
you'll give us your take on it, and you just round up as well.
Well, I feel what she did was the final thing. Was okay. The fact that she paid for it and she didn't say, oh, when you're finally boxed up. You know, some women are like that. They say, when you're finally boxed up, give me my 800,000 naira.
But you should have actually loaned him the money.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds better. But the thing is, what she did was second to none. It was the best. The fact that she walked out and she knows in her heart that she has actually done everything to keep the marriage alive. So I think if most women were like that, oh God, it's going to be wonderful. Well, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. And I'm still in Enioluwa Adekoya. Many thanks for inviting me on this beautiful program. God bless you.
With FLOXY. Yes, like she said, on the part of the woman, she did amazingly well, and of course, I think I learned from this today. It's not only us. It's not okay for us to do energy for energy.
Yeah.
At times, we should have this humanitarian feeling, and we should do good, even when it doesn't really apply or when it's not really convenient for us. And also on the part of the man, I think it did not really do well, because you cannot eat your cake, like they say, and always have a bag.
Yeah.
You have a woman in the house who has been supporting you over time when you could not match up the energy of being a man. And to cap it all, you feel actually looking outside to having a child or children now is how to tell her thank you. But I know we can do better. They can do better as men, because I'm not a man. And with that, I'll be wrapping up today's edition of Real Talks with FLOXY. I beseech you to stay blessed, love yourself, and stay calm.